Okay, we are back. Our next presenter is Harneet Bath. Dr. Bath?
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm not on the beach, as it might appear. I was supposed to be there with you in person, but I had to cover hospitals. I'm in the mountains and among the fires in Mount Shasta, so you might have to bear with me on my Wi-Fi.
Okay. Are you sharing your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you see
Just
it?
checking. Yeah, we see it.
Okay, we're going to talk about Aid Chile today, and we're going to try to reimagine reality, especially in training and surgical spaces. So,
Can you speak a little louder, please?
absolutely. So, Aid Chile is pioneering AR, VR applications for healthcare. And this is the most important slide because there's a lot that we can do using our platform, starting with patient engagement, pre-op planning, surgical training, surgical navigation, remote collaboration or remote surgeries, and image-guided surgeries. And I'll try to give you some use cases that we're doing at all places about those. How big is the opportunity? So we know that going forward by 2027, we're talking a $60 billion global VR market. And majority of it is going to be VR training that is going to be used. By 2030, we think 50% of all visual digital content will be in real time and 3D. And this comes from Unity software, people who are actually helping make it. Are some of our use cases in patient engagement? Imagine a patient who's going to have a general surgery or a neurosurgical operation. We show them what exactly the procedure is, how the surgeon's approach will be, and then now they actually understand the potential risks and benefits of the procedure, and they can do a better informed consent, which is very important for hospitals and surgeons to reduce their malpractice. Next use case is remote collaboration. Imagine you have different surgeons who are collaborating on the same surgery in real time. One of our surgeons actually was called when Tiger Woods was in LA and had a multi-fracture injury. This guy is in Massachusetts, and there's no way for them to collaborate as in today, but using our platform, they actually can. We didn't have it up and running at that time, so it would have been nice. We had not tied up with that organization at that time, so it didn't work. But we make it possible. Immersive training. Imagine 3D surgical training where, as you and I both know, that if you're a resident or a fellow, you cannot see from afar, sitting across a room or across a table. You do not know exactly what the surgeon is doing or seeing. We take their visuals from their eyes and then give it to the surgeon's residents and fellows, so they are seeing exactly from the surgeon's bird eye view. And then on top of that, we are able to do image guided surgeries where we can bring your CT, MR, PET, whatever that might be, and project it onto patient, which you can use intra-op for surgical navigation and image guidance. The patient engagement we're doing with Spectrum Health and with the Children's Hospital out of Michigan. And we started with pediatric neurosurgery department where the kids are getting a better informed consent, or I should say the parents, and the kids also get to understand what they're getting. Our next pilot is going on with an organization in Phoenix where they work with multiple anesthesia and pain management sites. And we're tracking patients' engagement for pain management to understand what exactly they're going to have, and then helping them with gameplay. Patient education, we just launched this with a kidney or dialysis unit, which is looking at home dialysis, where we explain the patients what exactly they will be going through. This is with an academic center on the East Coast as well, and with a dialysis center. This is with another academic center on the East Coast, where we did a pilot in two of their departments, and they liked it so much they came back and they want it for all the residents and fellows in neurosurgery, general surgery, ortho, ENT, etc. This is where you can see the surgeon wearing the actual device that HLE has, and we can talk about the device as well. A very little camera sits on top of the surgeon's head. It's less than like 200 grams, and it can stay on for hours and hours during the surgery. So the surgeon can't even feel it is there. And we record everything with a bird's eye view, including the magnification, and then project it to the surgeon and the resident. This is image guidance. So we started this in India with a large hospital chain called Apollo at one of their larger hospitals in neurosurgery. And they loved it so much that they now have come back and they want us to expand to all their hospitals in India, as well as their partners. And this is using pre-op planning and image guidance in the OR itself. Looking ahead, we're working with some other larger academic institutions, waiting for IRB approvals. And that includes Brigham's and Stanford and Arizona Heart Center. And we're finalizing partnerships with some large academic centers in Asia. Our competition. So there's a lot of applications out in the market which focus on one of these aspects, either pre-op planning or remote collaboration or patient engagement or training. That's why we showed that we are sitting right in the middle. And why can we do all this? I think this is the biggest moat that we have. If you compare us with any of these other applications, they all are hardware-based that have to be installed on the device or the servers at the organization. Our competitors, typically they'll charge $1 million to have a whole room to themselves and servers, etc. We are all cloud-based, device agnostic, and specialty agnostic. Think of us as a software platform, and then there's various applications that can be brought in from there. On top of that, we have multiple patents already granted to us. So anything that is using live and remote content for training or education will have to use our IP. And then there's other stuff that we have around it. Who's our team? So Arvind, who was our CEO, he's a technologist, been with TCS for years, and he's an awesome thinker and actually a doer. Mo Barathan, our COO, he's a technologist, also working with multiple IT companies. Amit leads our board, and he's a serial entrepreneur. He leads Promaxo, which just got a device coming to the market. My background, I'm an internist, and I was chief medical officer with Sutter Health before, and then OSF Health. Been named one of the top 50 CMOs of US. I work with a lot of innovation companies, and you can see some other advisors as well. Our roadmap. Today, we're doing surgical training and collaboration, patient engagement, pre-op planning, but we want to continue getting all this data. And in another year or two, we will be getting into a 510(k) clearance with FDA, so we can be using our devices and software for image guidance in the OR. So that includes navigation, magnification, and fluorescence all in one headset. So the surgeon does not have to drag, 500-pound machine and then push it back and get something else in. And eventually what we want to get to is intra-op assisted intelligence, where we are bringing in all the AI ML models for any kind of approach for surgery or any procedure. I keep saying surgeries, but it could be any scopes or any kind of procedure. And we will bring that collective intelligence and show to the proceduralist what exactly will be the right approach for this kind of patient with this kind of problem.
Harneet, your time is up.
Okay, this is our Series A. We just started our launch, and this is what we'll do. We're raising 7 million, and where we have been awarded, and our current engagements and partnerships. One thing to mention: we are the Microsoft's chosen collaborator for Microsoft India to work with AR/VR applications for training.
Thank you.
And now I'm open for questions.
Judges?
Great. So as a surgeon, the headset, every headset can be like a crown of thorns that you have to wear. We've heard there are a lot of devices. There's a lot of work in this area, especially in the training. There's a whole simulator in a lot of these academic institutions now for training surgeons and so forth. So I'm just want to say, what makes yours like kind of different than some of the other ones that are already out there in the marketplace in terms of that kind of like live, feed that, you're seeing the bird's eye view from the surgeon?
As I said, all our competitors are hardware device based, and you need huge servers. Without naming one of them, charges $1 million, and you need sort of a whole room by themselves to have the whole infrastructure downloaded. And then once they do it, you can just use that, let's say for neurosurgery or spine surgery. You cannot just take that and start using for ENT. We deliver a very lightweight device, which is all cloud-based, all live, and it's agnostic to the procedures you're doing.
The other comment is the virtual reality. Way back when I was a resident, which was over 20 years ago more, we actually did stuff with virtual reality with laparoscopy, and it, the technology was there. Some of us who have motion sickness couldn't do it. It turned out that didn't really make it any better than just straight laparoscopy with the visuals that we had with our optics. So just, in terms of giving it to the patient to say, look at this before your surgery, not sure. Many patients might adopt, maybe some I'm sure would say, wow, that's great. Others might just say, thank you, but just tell me what my vision's gonna look like.
So the key is, imagine watching a TV with one frame or picture changing every 5 seconds or 10 seconds, which makes it dizzy. When you get to a certain speed and frames per second, and so it depends on how you're delivering the content. So I'll promise you, if you put our headset on, it will not make it dizzy.
Martina?
Can you comment a little bit more on the use cases? You showed about 5 of them. One of them was training, and then there was patient education, pain management, and some others. So can you split them percentage-wise on how frequently you are focusing on each of these? It seems that the training is the main one, but I just want to make sure.
Right. So the modules for training and remote collaboration are already there. We already have been working on them for the last 2 years, and that platform already exists today. What we're working on now with our engineering team is more for the intra-op guidance. So we're ready for our 510K in a year and a half. And the market size for each of them, so let's just say, they're between 15 to 30% each of them, and they're all $5 to $20 billion markets individually.
And Shubhra, our silent judge, wants to ask, what is your business model?
So we are a SaaS-based model. So there's one-time upfront cost for the device, which we do not add any percentage on. And after that, we're a SaaS revenue-based model, which could be based on either a one department or per resident or fellow, depending on their size. And I do have a slide in there which we didn't talk about. So we charge like a couple $100 a resident a year, which is very negligible. And these academic centers feel they get a lot of value for it.
Thank
you.
You
were also,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you were also talking about your device being device and platform agnostic. Does it translate to lower price than the competitors?
Absolutely. So that's where I said we can use any of the devices that are in the market, from HoloLens to Vive to, depending on what the customer is looking for and how much they are trying to spend. Think of us as a software, not the hardware itself. We can take any device that is in the market and customize it for them and add our battery set to it.
Is there an option for integrating haptics with your device, or not? Not just because it's agnostic.
That is an option, and yes, if that costs an extra couple $1,000 for the gloves, but yes, we have that included as well.
Shubhra had another question about manufacturing margins.
As I said, we're not manufacturing the headset. Well, let me take it back. The recorder is our headset. It's our device. It's our patented. But the HoloLens, for example, we just get it off the market. So we're not trying to get a margin out of those. Our margins come from software. Think of us as a typical SaaS software.
All right, judges, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I forgot to introduce the judges, but go ahead and introduce yourself, Paula, starting with you. 2 sentences
Sure.
about
Two
what you do.
sentences. So I'm a surgeon. I'm also the founder and CEO of UberDoc. So I am a startup person and a very loyal person to Innovator MD.
Martina.
Hi, my name is Martina Trusch. I'm a healthcare innovator, non-MD. My background is in STEM. I advise startups to grow nationally and internationally, and I'm a huge fan of Innovator MD community that Yuli grew and keeps building and growing.
All right, Shubhra says she has technical difficulty, but she's a physician and a venture capitalist, and she does investing in early stage companies. I know that. All right, go ahead and finish your tally. If Ruchi can set up a room for you 3 to discuss, that'll be great. And then I will come back and view your results.